This Kevin Tita, I want talk, I never start. They go feel when I talk. So due to what happened, like we lost like $18,000 like off the rip just with that happening. And then I had shows like canceled, shows canceled, a whole lot of plans. I was to go to Nigeria. I was getting invited to like all these different countries to come perform, I was about to go on to Turkey. There's a DJ here in North Cyprus called DJ Estimate. It's like the biggest Afrobeat DJ here. And he planned this tour for me actually in Turkey. And the lockdown just fucked everything up for me, man. Sorry for the curse words, but it just...
No, if I lost $18,000, I would be cursing too. I understand. Yeah. So, okay. Well, okay. So when everything gets back to normal, do you feel like you're going to start touring again or what? Like, what's your plan?
No, I'm just going to focus on like the music, like I'm working on my album now. I'm in the studio. Like I have a studio in the house and my producer like is in the house with me. So I'm just gonna focus on the album. I'm not gonna go back and tour until I have the album out, because that's what I want to tour based on. Like I want to perform the songs from the album. And
okay.
Like I told you, like there's no other time that I'm enjoying being a musician more than now, Yeah.
Yeah. So your brother, okay, that's cool that your brother helps you write and stuff. What about your beats? Do you do your own beats or do you have someone who does the beats for you?
Yeah, my producer, like his name is Donald D. He produced
okay.
I had like a series of songs that came out with just putting songs out there. And then when I met him, the day I met him was the day my sound switched. Like the very first day we began to work was the very first day my sound switched, my writing style, everything just changed from there, So he makes the beats. We make the beats together because I don't know how to interpret my ideas of my beats into sounds. So most times I I tell him what to do, and then he interprets them into sounds, and then I record my vocals, and then he then sits down after maybe I've gone to sleep, then he builds on the ideas that we started working on together. He builds on the ideas, add this, take this out, tweak this here, tweak that there, He does.
How long does it take you to write a song?
30 minutes at most. 30 minutes at most.
Oh, wow. That's quick.
Yeah. Yeah, 30 minutes at most, Once it's inside you, like if you're born with the talent, like it's there. Whenever you just wake up, you can just tap into it and just start and write music, The artists take a lot of time.
So
I'm artists who don't have talent, who are trying to force it. But if you're
the shade of it all,
with the talent of singing, writing music, whenever you wake up, you can, unless you're having writer's block, but whenever you wake up, you can just make 10 songs if you want to. Yeah.
Okay. So do you find yourself having to go back, like with the Corona song, and making adjustments and changes to a lot of your songs?
Yeah. But that's where my brother comes in. My brother arranges the songs. So I write the lyrics, I record, I come up with the melodies, and then he comes back, and then when he listens to it, he has a very good ear for songwriting and song arrangements, So when he listens to it, he just tells me, okay, this is what we need to switch up, and this is what we need to switch up. So I rely on him for that. But in his absence, I can still do that, but I trust his judgment very well.
Okay, that's good.
Magazine cover, like I was on a magazine cover when I left Nigeria, touring outside. It was gonna be my first time. So then Corona just happened and just put a dent in that shit.
Yeah, true. It messed up a lot of people's plans. I know. even myself.
Yeah.
This was my year to travel. And then the
Wow.
virus said you need to sit down somewhere. So
This just
yeah.
taught me, yeah.
So
This
have you
taught me
been around?
that.
Yeah. Have you been
This
around
taught me
Europe
that.
at all?
No. I haven't been around Europe, but all around Europe, people consume my music. All around Europe, this was gonna be my first time, and this taught me that whatever you want to do, you better do that shit now.
Mm-hmm.
Waste no time.
Yeah.
One thing I
That's
learned from this whole experience.
true. So true.
Yeah.
So anyone that's trying to get into the music industry, what advice would you give to them?
First of all, make sure that your content is very good. If you want to go into acting, have the talent. First, because a lot of people come into the music industry with no talent and then start complaining all around. Nobody's supporting me. I used to have that problem. I had the talent, but I didn't have the right songs. And I'll be wondering why are they supporting such and such, and they're supporting such and such, and I'm from the same city as them, and they don't support me. You know, I don't want to start saying a date. If you notice, on my page, I've not been saying a date because most times as artists, you work on this project, you think it's gonna be out on this day, and then you start getting inspired to write a few new songs.
Okay. So you
So
work. Okay.
I'm just working, but let's say 6 weeks time, that's gonna be the highest time. 6 weeks, I'm gonna have the album coming out most probably around 6 to 8 weeks from now. I have
Okay.
we've been recording we recorded the new song yesterday night, so every day it just keeps sounding better.
Yeah. How many songs do you have so far on your album?
So I can't say I have a lot of songs, but my plan is to record 40 songs.
Oh.
Choose the best 6 from the 40 songs. So when you hear the album, it's gonna be fire.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'll choose the best 6. Yeah, the album is called Knowledge Beyond College. That's the name of the album, and it's my debut. That's my debut album.
Oh, nice. Do you have any features on there? Any collabs that you're gonna be featuring?
Yeah, I have some people that I have my eyes on. Though now I want to finish up the album by myself, and then me and my team will choose the songs that we're gonna need features on, and then we'll send them out. So I have this song that I recorded that I can hear Burna Boy on the song with me, and then
Yeah.
then I'm working with somebody from DMW. There's someone from DMW that I'm working with. Matter of fact, the song I just recorded yesterday. DMW, yeah? That's Davido's record label. I recorded the song yesterday. Yeah, and I think that's the song I'm gonna send over. So the person, I don't want to say the name. The person who I'm working with, I'm sending the song over to him tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, tonight. You send it back to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the one you sent me? Then I
Yeah,
posted?
yeah. That's the one.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. Cool.
Of course, African parents have, I don't know about now, maybe still till now, because I'm not yet a parent, so I don't know how, and I've not been home, for a long time to see what the reception is now. But as at that time when I started making music, it was something they used to mock people for. They say they if they want to insult a parent, they insult them based on what their kids do. And I heard a few people make mockery of my dad that his son is a musician. Yeah, your son is singing. He says he wants to sing. And then my dad was heavily against it because my dad is this pro-Western education kind of,
Oh, sure.
So he was heavily against it. There was too many problems between me and him. He would say things like, in our whole lineage, nobody is a musician. You will not be the first. You want to disgrace the family. I'm like, what? I was born with this talent. Funny enough, my dad can sing. When my dad sings, his voice is good. But along the line, you know, when I started becoming of age, and it was very clear to my dad that he couldn't stop it anymore. Where he began to believe was on two occasions. Yeah, one was there was like this election campaign that was going on in the state where I live, Kaduna State, where I used to live. And one of the parties that were like campaigning to have someone in office needed like a young youth to represent them to the youth. And at this time, I had a song. That song is called "Follow Me." Like the song was like blowing up everywhere in the state, though, in the city, not like nationwide.
Yeah.
There was no club you went to that you won't hear the song. There was no barbershop, you know, like there was just nowhere you went to, you could not escape the song. And so they picked me to represent them. And like we went on like this whole tour around the whole city campaigning. And I'll come out, I'll sing, and people will go crazy. So my dad's friends saw this, but I always wanted to work with R. Kelly, you know. I always wanted to work with R. Kelly. I always,
you know what?
Before this whole thing started happening, I was very fascinated by the guy. I'm still fascinated by the guy, like not his personality, but his talent, especially when I learned that he couldn't read and write. And he made all those songs from his head. Like he had a sickness that he has a sickness that stops him, like that affects his ability to read and write, you know. And then I was like, wait, oh, so he made all this music like from his head, you know.
True.
And then myself being a writer, like someone that writes music, like I know the process that goes into writing songs. I don't freestyle. I don't like to freestyle because I don't want to do something because other people are doing it. Like, okay, somebody's freestyling. Most people freestyle and the freestyle is trash, you know. But then I can make all these songs from his head. I was like, damn, I'd like to be in the studio with this guy. I'd like this guy to write for me someday, you know, before this whole scandalous thing started happening, you know.
Yeah, true. And you know what? Even though he has a whole lot of stuff going on right now, like at the end of the day, he had a lot of good hits. Like his albums are classics. So yeah,
classic.
Yeah, I can understand why he's someone. Yeah. Anyone else that you would have wanted to work with?
T-Pain. I wanted to work with
T-Pain. He's cool.
I'm gonna work with T-Pain. I've been reaching out to T-Pain. I want to get a better management that will have like the right channels to reach out to him. I want to work with him.
Yeah.
And then
you know he is working with African artists. He has a new song out with Afrobeat. Have you heard that song called Kondo?
Yeah.
So I think he would be open. He would definitely be open to like the Afrobeats. I think a lot of people are getting on the Afrobeats wave now. Like they're really excited about it.
Yeah,
they love it. Yeah, even Stonebwoy, he has a song out with Carrie Hilson too, and it's getting a lot of airplay.
Yeah. Beyonce just had a whole album. Like Beyonce just made a whole album with the who is who in Afrobeat music. You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy to see it happening. That's true. It's crazy, seeing it happen now because when I was little, when I was little, it was like a thing of shame to identify with African music at that time. You know, when I was in Nigeria at this time, and even in Nigeria, like we used to, you know, like you don't look cool, you don't sound cool when you're playing Afrobeat music, you know. And then now, later on down the line, the whole world,
now it's
everywhere, you know.
It's everywhere. It's blowing up.
Yeah, and
and a lot of and it's not just
one crazy thing is that,
and it's not just in Africa, it's all over.
It's worldwide.
So you know, now is a good time for people to so it's really good. It's a good opportunity for people to
try to act as if they've been there.
Yeah.
You know? But one thing I like to always say is that Nigerian artists really fought very hard for this shit that's happening now. You understand? There was a time when it got to a point where 50 Cent came to Nigeria one time, had a problem with someone like one of the biggest Afrobeat artists of that time in Nigeria. And then there was a whole campaign to drop, to start playing 90% Afrobeat music on the radio and then 10% Western music. That was where the whole thing began to change. So it went from the like the TV stations used to play a lot of Ja Rule, a lot of Fat Joe. You rarely see any Nigerian artists on Nigerian TV at that time. And then when this shit happened, man, the shit just switched up from there. You know?
Yeah, and that's a good thing too. It's good because it puts Africa on the map, and it gives us, you know, that spotlight now, so like the world can see like what we have going for us. Because a lot of people in Western society, exactly, and because I'm in corporate America, and I'm constantly having to check my my coworkers and tell them, no, this is not what it's like to be in Africa. It's not like what you're thinking. It's not just a bunch of starving people and people, you know. I mean, we have culture, we have music, we have so much other things going for us. So I try to like educate people on Africa, and they just, you know, that's kind of like why I do these videos and stuff too.
It hurts me very, like, it hurt me badly when I see in this day and age, you know, some Western artists go to Africa. First of all, Africa is a continent. It's not a country, you know? So
right.
That's one thing that really gets on my nerve. Like when they say, like, I was watching one of the artists, like one of the American A-list artists was saying, I've performed in New York, I've performed in Texas, I've performed in London. He was calling like these little cities in these different countries, and then he says, and even in Africa. I'm like, what? Name the country you went to in Africa. Don't just say like Africa is some streets, you know, like one street down the line, you know. And
true.
It hurt me badly.
And you know, like
when I see some Western artists go back home, like they go to Africa and then they go to like the slums. Like I understand going to the slums, cool, but don't just make it look like that's the only place you went to. Like I saw this girl, Kelly Rowland. Kelly Rowland went to Nigeria, performed at a very big, huge concert, you know, got like the best of treatment. And then the only picture she posted on her Instagram was when she was with some kids who were like looking very dirty, and like she went to look for the dirtiest kids on the streets to take a picture with and say one love to Africa. It was a nice time. I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you do that?
True.
And then
so true. True. You know,
they don't know
and
this.
I hate that.
I hate that. If you
really
degrade Africa,
that's my pet.
If you degrade Africa because maybe you're a black person from the West, or you know, from the West. Sorry, let me even shed this whole American accent. If you are degrading Africa, you understand, and you are black, however Africa looks in front of the world is how they see you.
True.
Yeah, that's how they see
True.
You. It's like someone going to put out like their family business to everybody and say, my dad is a drunkard, my mom is this, my dad is this. How do you think they're going to look at you?
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, us as Africans now that we having this platform, we can educate people on Africa and let these people know, listen, it's not just this, it's not just kids playing in the dirt and stuff like that. We can develop Africa. We're one of the richest places naturally, like with natural, you know,
not one of the richest.
Everything else.
It's not one of the richest. It's the richest. It's
we
the
really
richest.
are.
Yeah, it's the richest.
Now now we get it political, and we can come and overtake a lot of stuff that's going on. We can get big businesses into Africa to helping people out and getting these good jobs and turning the economy around and stuff. We just have to work together to do it. You know, not the politicians not necessarily going to do it, but the people have to, you know, work together and pull together and do things to, you know, make Africa better. Sub-Saharan Africa specifically.
Of course.